Hello, welcome to the daily political tarot readings here on the Black and Orange channel. I am here. I'm here with the lovely Lori from the Way of Positive Change, and I'm gonna need to turn the little display name. There we go. So, from the Way of Positive Change, do subscribe to Lori's channel. Lori is the biggest sweetheart and just one of the best readers. I mean, seriously, good readers. Really touches on the energy. Really sensitive and compassionate, and I cannot say enough nice things about you.
Well,
So
very kind of you. I'm delighted to be here. Happy Women's Day March Day.
Happy Women's Day March, everybody. I was mentioning earlier, I read on that yesterday, day before, and it was, will it be safe? And what I was getting was there are lots of women who, you do not want to mess with them today. So anyway. Yes, Holly, a double dose of fantastic. Look at this fantastic right here. Anyway. Lori Kettle says Lori was bang on with my reading. I believe it. I totally believe it.
Thank you, Miss Lori.
So, okay, we've got various questions to go over today. I've pulled out ye old Halloween deck. So, 'tis the season.
Awesome.
The one I bought 30 years ago. I don't know how it has survived this long, but somehow it has. But my Rider-Waite decks are just dead. But anyway, go ahead.
I've seen you use that one on your channel before in previous readings.
Oh.
Over the years.
Yeah. All right. So I guess we have to, instead of enjoying this lovely banter, to talking back and forth over, pictures and isn't this nice and lovely people in the chat, I guess we have to go down into the muck and read on the mucky people.
The swamp people.
The swamp people. Okay. Number one, the first question today is from Patricia, actually, who was asking, will today's Women March result in abortion laws being set in stone? So let's see what we get here.
Set in stone.
And I'm trying really hard not to let this question drive me crazy. Oh, thank you, Vicky. Thank you. Any luck?
Boy,
are you getting
a mixed bag of?
I was just going to say it's a mixed bag. I was literally going to say mixed bag.
Boy, there will be some disruptive moments today. The protest will cause, especially people who are running for office, to really take note as to how many. But it's just like, I get the Tower and the Eight of Cups, and then I get, the Devil and the Star and the Two and the Justice Court up at the top. So I'm going to say, even though set in stone is because everything changes, but I'm going to say it ends up set in stone until it changes.
I wish my cards were that optimistic.
It's really getting to the top, though.
Yeah, I've got it. There's an uphill slog coming. This will help, but it's not going to. Sometimes the cards have a kind of sense of humor, or they. It's like, thanks, I really didn't need that. But this is the Ace of Wands, which in readings like this is symbolic, with the Lover's card. Thank you, cards. I did not need that. woman in temperance card, but there's a Republican knight and law enforcement. I'm not liking that. So I pulled some more cards. Oh, and the first card that came out was this Fruits of Labor, which is they've worked hard to knock down Roe on the right. They've taken over state governments. They've done a lot of really just awful things. So what else could I figure out? There's a King of Wands, Justice, Hermit. But so this is things having to be, I'm not saying back alley, but things having to do all these workarounds for a while. But there is hope. And it is probably going to have an effect on the 2022 election.
Yes, for sure. So you did get the Star card and the Justice card as well.
I did, but the Justice card wasn't necessarily being used for positive in my cards,
Okay.
which I don't like.
Yeah, it's very slippery. I mean, when you get the Tower and the Devil, so it's a real battle, and it takes quite some time. But hopefully, Lady Justice will.
Absolutely.
In the end, or maybe it just takes quite some time.
Well, we'll get there. We just have to keep fighting the good fight. So, okay. So we're getting about 7 minutes in. Colleen wanted to know, will the Western U.S. get some plentiful rain this fall, winter, or spring? So let's read on the drought in the West.
I keep envisioning soft falling rain for that area.
I'm getting warning bells of climate change. Climate change, do something. It's like I'm doing the reading. I'll contact my representatives later, but that doesn't help me. Hearing the klaxon, awooga, alert. I know.
So we're focusing mostly on like Arizona, that area.
California, in the West. Yeah, okay, what are you getting?
I'm not getting very good cards for that. Although you could technically say that it is raining in the Three of Swords, but that isn't happening. I feel like when they get it, it comes so strong.
Yeah, that's my worry. Flooding, it's like bad flooding.
Like they have to rush to help themselves, in certain areas.
Oh boy. Thank you, Fire Sky. Thank you. I didn't thank you earlier. Well, the crops. The crops is the big worry. The biggest worry. All that growing out there. Crops. And there are people who are wealthy, either big farming corporations, or they're just people who are wealthy and can get water diverted to them, or they can, the wealthy will be fine. What I'm concerned about, sorry, I hit the microphone. What I'm concerned about is there being no rain, and then enough rain that you end up with flooding, or it doesn't really soak into the ground because the ground is like hard packed from drought. So I'm worried about, but I'm not getting like the tower. I'm not getting like the end is nigh. But yeah, I'm with you. So
I mean, they get some. It just isn't it isn't all what they need. And
Right.
we're also seen as foolish because we haven't done enough to bring in supplemental waters to that area. And I think they're going to look at it and say, oh man, we really didn't do a very good job.
Yeah, it's hit and our efforts have been hit and miss and not enough. Okay, let's see if we can find some other depressing things.
It's terrible. Just everyone envision nice, soft falling rain that can be absorbed.
Yes. Well, there is a question here about Brian Landry, but we'll wait on that. No, nothing personal, Maura. I'd rather stick to political stuff, and then if we've got time. And so we could ask, Isadora was asking, why is DeJoy still employed? Which is a perfectly good question. So I just grab it. Why are you laughing?
I was reading, is it Michael Grant? I don't have reading glasses, but will Miami become water world and can Rubio swim?
Okay, so
the question is why is DeJoy still
employed?
The place?
Yeah, why is he still employed?
Why is he still?
Because I heard recently he's doing. I could be wrong. I can't remember where I heard it, but there was something about he's still trying to do something to slow down the mail.
He already has.
Oh, yeah, he has. Okay.
He just put it a couple days ago. Somebody help me. I don't remember. Was it Monday it started?
But somehow your mail's going to be slower.
Yeah.
While he racks up money being invested in competitors.
Raising the prices and slowing down the process. I would think it started Wednesday.
Although Kathy Anderson, our distinguished veteran, has a very important question also. Why isn't Marjorie Taylor Greene in Arkham Asylum?
Another good question.
It's hot. It's hot here. What are you getting?
It's about power.
Well, you look your cards. I just need to grab my hair clip. It's really hot in here.
Sure. It's about power and how he was put into place.
Yeah.
So these people have to, where am I? These people and these people have to do the votes to take him out. But they put him in for power. He's still there. That's the reason I'm getting.
Yes, I got the Lover's card for the reading. That he has an ally in that board, but he has other allies as well. He has done so much damage to the post office. I mean, it just goes on, and it's because he's one of those people politically wedded to that far right thinking. And he is making money hand over fist himself personally for his own pocket. And I do have him leaving eventually. I do see him leaving, but he's laughing. Whoops, sorry. Okay, I gotta move this or something. He's laughing as he's driving away.
I love that card. I also have the cherry.
Do you think it's him leaving?
I do think he'll be leaving, but this takes it takes the vote and the village, and
It takes a while. Yep.
Yeah. I think he's going to have to pay some of the money back.
I hope so. I don't understand how he can have those kind of conflicts of interest and not be kicked out, not have been kicked out long ago. That's what I don't understand. Yeah, just he's been same cards. He's protected, and as long as he's in there to mess up the voting, they want him in. Okay.
Like he's been working real hard. He's done a lot.
Yeah.
He put his head down and just went right to work on those things.
Okay. That was slightly not awful.
Slightly.
I've got a couple of questions here. I'm just trying to see if there's something that isn't. Okay. All right. Well, all right. We'll try this one. Vicky had a question. Will a fight over the filibuster be thrown into all the bills that Congress is wrestling over now and all this fight they're going for? Will this big fight that's going on now, will the filibuster reform or getting rid of it, will that get caught up? Will they work on that too? Floating Lotus is saying DeJoy is under investigation for malfeasance and money issues. Thank you. Thank you. Filibuster. I was saying just the other day, all you have to say is the filibuster. It was a Jim Crow, and then you can stop right there. You can stop right there. You say the word Jim Crow. It was a Jim Crow. We're done. Get rid of it.
Right. It's sort of stuck at the moment.
Okay.
But it'll get talked about, tossed around. Boy, it's just really, there's so much negativity around the discussions and the infighting. But I have three, actually. I have three, then going up my right side of my Celtic cross, I have these three beautiful
Nice
cards. So there's
like
a good outcome to this, but it's a chaotic mud flinging.
I'm getting much the same. The card for the reading is the card of the thief, and that's what the Republicans are doing. Just and the people who are blocking filibuster reform, they're using the filibuster in ways they shouldn't. Anyway, we won't go down that Mansion Cinema rabbit hole. I've been going down that every day, and it's just gets uglier every time. Right now, I've got a death card for the situation, and I've got the Trumpers dancing, the far right, basically. I've got they're just happily dancing. This is my Mar-a-Lago card in the regular deck, is a symbol of Trump's base and the people associated with him, and they're just keep making sure it stays in place. However, center of the reading, I've got a strength card, and that strength card is a woman right there. And she's looking in that little kitty's mouth, checking things out. And then I get the Hierophant, which is the government, the institution. Yes.
Oh,
And the cats, there are three cats in here, and they're all after that little unraveled bit by his foot. I love this deck.
It's fantastic.
So that's the institution of the Senate and the Queen of Cups. And that is the Democrats being much happier, really taking control. My concern is this doesn't happen until 2023. I'm personally, please, I want to be wrong. Please, I want to be wrong. I keep getting not much shifting until after the next election. I keep getting Democrats winning pretty big, or at least more than they did, rather than losing seats at the midterms for two reasons. One, Republican obstruction, but two, in all a whole bunch of indictments and things coming down. So we're seeing people like indictments come down, and then there are trials all the way through, leading up and through the election day. That does not make the right look so great.
Well, that's good news.
I hope so. We should let's ask. Will big changes have to wait until 2023? Big legislative. Well, big changes, big legislate. We'll see what comes up, if that's okay.
Okay. Have to wait until after or during 2023?
During, as in after the 2020 midterms, and people get into power. Will they be able to get big stuff done earlier, or?
I think you're probably right here. I mean,
It's
some accomplishment, but boy, all the way up to it. But see, the judgment card is on its side here, so I don't like that placement. And then everyone gets confused. It's very, very difficult energy to try to get up there. But then towards the top, we have the Chariot and the Hierophant again. So I think you're right. Hopefully they can get a few things through.
right. And I want to be wrong. Please. Please just pass all these wonderful things that will help children not be hungry, that will allow the economy to recover, so bridges don't fall down. If please let me be wrong. So that's going to just happen early, but I'm not seeing it in the cards. In this deck, particularly, the two of Wands isn't just about communication. It's this weird little thing where you've got one big guy, and he's either pushing those imps together or he's pulling them apart. You decide. What I get from this is some people are enjoying watching the fighting, like Sinema and Manchin, and the Democrats and the far left, all the Democrats in disarray, and on the right, and various people. But it doesn't just feel like people on the right. It feels like some people behind the scenes who have a lot of money or donors or I don't know what, but they're really enjoying, and they're trying to stir things up to keep the Democrats. Oh, right underneath it, there's the moon card. They're trying to keep things stirred up. I've got Republicans, the group of, I don't know why I get queens for groups of, but groups of Republicans right now, it seems like they're all sitting pretty all in a good place, I should say. But there is, as time in the not too distant future, their energy is quite wobbly. It's a lot more wobbly than you might think. And in the center, so in the 5-card spread, the center card's the strongest. I've got a Nine of Imps where these people are very battered from all the Trump stuff. And after this, 6 of those, I've got Democrats working together on legislation and holding people accountable, because this is legislation. It can also be a prosecutor. So
to clarify, I was sort of thinking when I was doing the shuffling, I was sort of thinking about the filibuster and the changes in 2023. But you think that the infrastructure bill, and you don't think that will be passed until then either?
Well, big changes have to wait until 2023. I haven't been getting anything, but maybe I'm asking it wrong. Let me ask again, because I'm thinking things like the big infrastructure stuff. Will the big infrastructure stuff have to wait? I should have put it that way. Will the big infrastructure stuff have to wait until after the midterms?
I don't think so. At least not from this. I think, everyone's trying to get their wish, and I think there's quick movement.
Good.
Hopefully with this, because they're going after the people that won't see, the cinemas and the mansions, and the people who won't get off the fence here. I think they're going to get shoved off the fence somehow, because this Knight doesn't mess around. He's just,
Yes.
That's a quick timing card too. So.
Okay.
Hopefully. What are you seeing there?
Well, burden. The whole energy of this is very heavy. It really is, and it's a heavy lift, and not just in the sheer amount of money, but politically, and all the energy just feels very heavy. It was the burden and trying to get things organized and get everybody organized. It starts out well. This is my favorite card in this deck, the 6 of Pentacles. In my readings a year and a half ago or so, my cards started splitting out, that Cups are Democrats, Pentacles are Republicans, and Wands are the far right. I don't know why, it just did. But this doesn't feel like the Republicans. This just feels like trying to sweeten the pot for people to get on board. But this Queen of Wands, that's people on the right sticking together. I got the 6 of Wands in the center right there, and they're all kind of sticking together in this deck here, right there. And then I've got an Ace of Cups here, which is a finally some big movement from the Democrats, but it's somehow linked to a legal swords going into metaphorical backs. So it's almost, I don't know if this is exactly it, but it's almost as if either through the election or the January 6th Select Committee or something, there has to be a shift of power in the Senate, in part of the House, that but certainly in the Senate. But it's something. It's legal. It's either swords are either votes, legal matters for me, and this is not good for them. This is a positive card for Democrats. This is a very, very negative card. So it's not them. It's, pardon?
Sorry.
This is it's the 10 of Swords.
Oh, that's what's up. Okay.
So maybe it isn't after the election. Maybe it's just there's some change that goes on with voting or legally that Democrats can move forward. That's for what it's worth. That's like it. Okay. Okay. So let's see, what was the next question here? Judy was asking, where are we, 31? Judy was asking, is the government going to do anything about the banks that are closing accounts? I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that, but you're asking, so.
I haven't either. I have to grab some water. I don't know why I brought an empty cup instead.
That's fine. Banks closing accounts. More banks are closing accounts and limiting transactions.
Where is that happening?
Let me see. Actually, it might just be an internet thing, because the actual news isn't showing anything about that. It's coming up in search results from Google, but it's not coming up as news. And it's not coming up on a site I recognize. So, okay, I'm gonna have to look into more of that, Judy. I'm sorry. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna have to look up to find a new source for it. So I'll just move it down here and I'll look that up. And if something, or when I find something, I will definitely read on it tomorrow. Chime Bank does that. Marie says, close your account and keep your money. Well, are they insured? Because FDIC insured? Because banks, reputable banks your money's protected up to $100,000 through FDIC insurance. So they shouldn't be you should get that money back. I'll have to look this up. Internet bank. Well, FDIC insured is really important, because otherwise they're kind of fly-by-night banks. But Jane is asking, what is the Alfa Bank? Oh, what is the Alfa Bank that supposedly has ties to Trump Org? They're a Russian bank. Let's do 3330. Let's look at Alfa Bank and Trump Org. For those who don't know, back about the time of the 2016 election, there was a lot of talk because there were some internet people who were looking at they were somehow able to look at traffic coming in and out of like Trump Tower and things like that, what was moving around on the internet, and they found this connection going between a server in Trump Tower and Alfa Bank in Russia. Now, the news people asked Trump Org about it, and Trump Org said, "Oh, it's just promotional materials." But it's too much information for it to have just been promotional materials. And some other people said, well, Alfa Bank, the owners of Alfa Bank hate Putin, so they're not going to be helping Trump do anything. But I've since heard something different. So, and there's this back and forth, and it's been getting cut pretty muddy. So I just want to know if is it ever going to be revealed? Was there something between Alfa Bank and Trump Org? Will there be something revealed there? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
I have. It's very secret.
Okay.
It's very manipulative. Money has been lost and juggled, and it ends up a big, fat, stinking mess.
So it does come out.
That's pretty smelly.
I like that. Holly and Francis pointing out that lots of Russians live in Trump Tower. Oh, that's true. But that's they actually linked it back to Trump Org. It wasn't just somebody in the tower. It was actually Trump Org, and Trump Org was saying, yes, we are sending promotional materials or something like that. This is America, and we're still waiting on some answers. We're still waiting on some answers here. Because the warning signs were there. We knew who Trump was. We know who Trump is. We knew he was a snake before they let him in. And this is a lot of, we knew his legal woes and his bankruptcies and all of that. And he turned the presidency, Mar-a-Lago, into his own little palace. But something about this causes something to be hung up or suspended, and then I've got all the people who were so happy here trying to point fingers. Oh, that wasn't me. That was him. Oh, no, that was her. She did the. It doesn't feel like it's soon, but there's something there. Do you get a sense if it's sooner or later?
I don't think it's that far off, but it's definitely been manipulated, and the whole root of it is secret on how it works at its root. But
yeah.
Sorts don't usually take that long. I think somebody gets away with a smelly situation.
Oh, you think someone gets away with it?
No, I think someone gets a whiff of the smelly situation, and there's a possible informer or someone that writes about it, and then all hell breaks loose. So
nice.
Something's going down.
I like it. While I have you here, I like Michael Grant saying, "Put your rubles in a Chinese bank, comrades." At 38:30. I'll clean up for those of you watching and those of you watching replay, I'll clean up the description box when I'm done, but right now it's a total mess. I was going to, oh goodness, well, I had a question. I should have said it out loud. Oh, while I have you here, I wanted your input on some timing of like Matt Gaetz. Why is he sitting in a position of power, attacking a general of our military instead of in a courtroom? Why is he still swanning around? So is anybody gonna, like, I don't know, show up, say knock knock, and I was just wondering if you had any sense of in the same way at DeJoy, why does DeJoy still have a job? Why is Gaetz still able to swan around?
Okay, let me. If he's going to jail soon or court soon. Now he's recently lawyered up.
Oh yeah. Michael Grant is pointing out that Maddie hired Epstein's lawyer.
Yes, he did.
And Greenberg, please, November 13th.
Well, change is on its way.
Yeah.
I don't think it sits much longer. Oh, his change and transition is right at the base of this. So I don't think it's much longer. Heavy burden.
Those are some heavy duty cards you've got there. Oh man. Ooh. He's going down. Oh, he's going down. Slam, like slam down.
Yeah. He's trying to hold this off as, I think somebody's being paid here. And I think he's trying to hold it off as long as he possibly can. But they're coming after him. It's still a little bit yet.
Who do you think's being paid?
Whoever has the ability to move the date, push the can down the road, kick the can down the road. Someone's getting paid to delay his fall.
If they can get paid to delay it, are they getting paid to squash it or squash parts of it? Now I'm curious. See, this is Lori bringing the good information. She does.
I'm trying. Someone's getting away with something here. This is real smelly too. This is taking bribes to delay, kick it down. Let me ask if he's going to be taken down soon. What are you receiving?
I think if there is somebody being paid, they're being paid to slow walk, but it doesn't change where he's going to end up. He's in the big house. See on the hill? Slow walking him to the big house. Yeah, the original cards I got, first of all, he's already on very shaky ground, and he knows it. There's a lot to worry about. They are wrapping him up with, they're wrapping the case up with, they're like wrapping a bow on him. And for the last two cards, I got the death card with the strength card after it, with strength of the will. He's accused of, anyway, so I got a death card in that. So I asked, is somebody being paid off or what have you? Because they're Knight of Cups here. They're definitely coming after him. And what I got was, right now he's just dodge. He's trying to dodge. Because, and he's able to do it because of the people who have money and power in the Republican Party and the state who can protect him. But ultimately, 10 of swords again, and it's a slower walk, but that's still the big house, and he still got the death card, not literally, death of his old way of living, because they are going to wrap him up with a bow. And that's what I'm getting for Bat Gaetz. So maybe we have to wait until after Greenberg's plea. So they make sure that he does what he's supposed to. I don't know.
He's got some information on someone, on another king here. And I believe that he's going to try to use it. Like, I'll give you this information if you let me off on this.
Will it help him? He really thinks he's going to walk away from this.
He really does, but he's getting hit hard at first. He really does. He thinks he has the goods.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, I got some heavy duty cards.
What have you got? I think he gets away with some of this, but other things he can't.
Yeah.
But he does have his son.
He thinks he's going to get away with this. He really does that there, and he's sitting pretty. He's been through the ringer, but he's got all of his people with him. And yeah, just throw some money at it. For the that's what you do when, at this level of society. You throw money at it, and it goes away. And we'll just go in, and we'll just be strong, and we'll take action, and that will be that. And it's like, no, there's this thing called evidence. And I have two different evidence cards. This is the one where they've got what they need. They're not collecting it anymore. Not really. They've got what they need. And they've got what they need to string him up by his heel. And it feels like this, the party goes on without him, while he languishes in a very, let's say, a very quiet place with a lot of metal bars. That's what I'm getting for that. How are you willing to go dark with me here for a second, or should we keep things lighter?
Whatever.
Because I don't know why I'm feeling like I want to read on this, because I never want to read on this. But there's a lot going on with Prince Andrew right now, and it would be awfully nice if somebody was held to account here, because they're apparently he and Sarah Ferguson, they bought some multi-million-dollar house, chateau, whatever, in, I don't know, Switzerland or somewhere, but they're selling it. And they're selling it because it's like they're selling it for like $9 million, and he owes like $2 million on something. And it looks like that's actually the only property they own. That where they're living now is part of the Queen's, the trust for the Queen and the royals and what have you. So money problems might start becoming an issue here. Even though you'd think, well, that would leave him $7 million. But you know how these things can get dwindled down pretty quickly. I'm just wondering about Prince Andrew. I'm getting a terrible pain in my jaw, too. This happens sometimes when I read on people like this. Yeah, selling off assets, Cheryl says. Yeah.
So the question is he having money problems?
What's going to happen to him? I think more generally. We know Sarah Ferguson was having money troubles way back when, and it was a bit dodgy how she got somebody to pay them off for her. But Prince Andrew. And thank you for doing this with me. I really can't stand going into this dark energy by myself. It's like, Lord, would you hold my hand so we can go into the dark energy?
I sometimes have to remind myself that it's best to think of evil as a mosquito.
I like it.
He is in trouble. He was sitting pretty.
Mhm.
He isn't happy with his situation, and he's sort of holed up. He wants to be free and go play, but this has caused a big change in his life, and that's the outcome card.
But how hemmed in do you think he's going to be?
That's pretty boxed in. What have I got on? Well, he will be able to travel incognito, but he's gone from the 9 of Pentacles to the 8 of Swords.
That's quite a fall.
That's a lot different.
Yes. The first cards I'm getting are all about what he did, and it's just vile. Just, pick and choose. Allegedly, entertainment only YouTube. I'm just reading on collective energy. This poor woman. And then he pulled the rabbit out of the hat, and she was left stuck. He already has something of a reputation, and this is going to be, his life is never going to be the same again. I'm definitely getting that, because what he allegedly did, he's going to be just rake through the mud in the press, certainly, if nothing else. You were talking about traveling incognito.
Oh, is that the 8 of Cups?
Yeah, but in this card, it's some people who are like, is that him?
That doesn't, yeah.
He's been denying it for a long time. I'm curious about this 6 of Swords, though. Oh, he's going to have to go to New York, I think. Wasn't that the thing where he's had to agree to go to take part in this trial or something? I'm not sure.
I'm not aware of that.
But I don't know that it's going to ever, like, I'm not picking up he's ever going to see, for anything, he's never going to see the inside of a jail cell. I just get him being a hermit.
I'll let you see that inside.
But I think there might be some other people who may come forward that this was not a one-off incident in his entire existence. Potentially. There's real scrutiny in the Me Too era. And there's a possibility of at least talk in the press about something in the UK. Things he's done with the picking and the choosing. And Wednesday there is awfully young.
Yeah, that doesn't look very good. He's trying to keep the secrets, but he will be facing some court challenges. So,
do you think that's the thing in New York, or do you think that's in the UK?
I wonder if this takes place after Ghislaine's court dates in November. Is one in October and one in November?
Oh, I'm starting to make a calendar.
Okay.
So, and When I finally get it made, I'll send you a copy if you want.
Oh, that would be lovely. Yeah.
But I'm still working on it, so I don't have. But I've got to make a note to make sure I get her on it too. Ghoul-Lane court dates. See, I feel so bad to have invited you over here, for tea and join, and now I'm just like, with you here, I can read on these really awful subjects, and I don't feel like I need to lie down on the ground.
Definitely, it's definitely difficult. I think he has to make a visit. Now, I don't know anything about this New York thing, but I feel that he will have to testify or come for depositions. I think he has to come here.
Yeah. Aggressive law enforcement over. There's a lover's card. There's a woman who has him by the information, and then I've got a death card. He's socially, he's toast. He's just toast. So I guess that's all we're going to get out of that. Okay. Okay, I just need to get out of this energy for a minute.
Sure.
Just have a quick. Let me pull up the list here. Michael, seriously, will the second coming occur in our lifetime, or is Homer Simpson the chosen one? Sit down. Floating Lotus had a very good question. Did Uncle Joe did his chat with Kyrsten Sinema have any effect on her intransigence? Because they had a talk at the White House. Did it do any good? And thank you for being here, Michael. I'm just being silly with you.
She didn't really want to listen, okay? She didn't really want to listen.
This woman is so frustrating. I
think she needs to do this to move forward, but I'm not seeing this as a helpful wheel for her.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, Maria. I don't read on specific medicines. I'm sorry. It's to me, it's too much like giving medical advice. So sorry. Sorry, it's nothing personal. Sorry, you were saying, Lori.
I think that she doesn't really, when I read on her energy, I believe that she's lost her way.
That's a very nice way to put it. You're a very sweet person.
Well, I make jokes about her, but I think she says one thing to him and then she just turns her back and she, prances off to curtsy somewhere else.
For what it's worth, I got nothing. She's no, and she's just taken as much money as she can get to line her pockets. You'd think that this would all be campaign money, that she couldn't personally pocket money, but there's something about her making herself very, very wealthy here.
I think she's told him, I really think she like just was two-faced with him. And, but I just don't see this working out well for her at all. My outcome card is the Tower for her.
Well,
right below it. So there's your money and your greed and your.
okay. This is definitely her not playing along. But if you're what are you seeing for that Tower card? Like, what's going to come? What is going to come of her? Because she makes me crazy. I just that thing I will never get over. Of when they were voting on giving people $15 an hour minimum wage, and instead of going up there or just voting no, which she shouldn't have, but fine, should vote no, she pulled a John McCain and walked in front of the dais of the parliamentarian, everybody, and not only did she give a thumbs down, but then she gave this sarcastic curtsy. Did you see that?
Oh yes, that's why I said curtsy. Yeah, and she had her little skirt on with her cowgirl boots.
To have people hurting that badly and to be so dismissive of people's suffering. If you have to vote no, if you have some reason to vote no, you can vote no and just fine, people be mad. But to just, oh my gosh, talk about insult to injury. And I don't know why that just I'd rather listen to nails on a chalkboard than be in this energy of hers.
He really thinks that she's got this down, but I think she has to go. I think she's moving on.
You think so?
I do.
I do think she's being used by the right. And some people, some wealthy people are promising her money to get her to block things with the promise of, oh yeah, you're going to get all this great stuff and you just do this. And in reality, they're just, as soon as they're done with her.
Well, what goes around comes around.
Yeah, I've got the Tower right in the center. Yeah. So, all right. I will not be sorry to see the back of her. Okay. Are you okay for time?
Yes.
Good. Okay.
Yes, here in your reading company with your.
Thank you for being here. Okay. Mark, I didn't really want to read about Mike Lindell's mental issues. I don't know that I could really add much to that, because I don't think people are really listening to him very much. Matter of fact, they even in what state was it recently? There was another state where was Idaho. I think it was Idaho, where he came out and he said Rachel Maddow was talking about this, that the voting machines, he said all of the voting machines in, all of these places in your state were, hacked into and corrupted, and the Republicans in charge, they were like, well, okay, let's look at this. And they were like, but of the places you're saying that these machines were hacked, at least 4 of these places don't have machines.
Wow.
They don't use machines at all. And he sent them some information, and they were just like, there's nothing here. This is nothing. So I don't know that there's much to read on there. He's just, at this point, he's just making noise. I am more concerned about, as Sienna calls him, and I'm totally stealing this, Evil Stevil. I love Sienna. There's something I saved here about Evil Stevil. Oh, here we go.
Let's see that.
Bannon fires. Okay, let's just do this. Scores of former Trump political appointees gathered at a GOP social club Wednesday night to hear Steve Bannon detail how they could help the next Republican president reconfigure government. Quote, if you're going to take over the administrative state and deconstruct it, then you have to have shock troops prepared to take it over immediately. Bannon said in this isn't during the thing, Bannon said this in a telephone interview with NBC News and said about that talk, I gave them fire and brimstone. Bannon, who ran former President Donald Trump's first campaign and later worked as a top advisor in the White House, said that Trump's agenda was delayed by the challenges of quickly filling roughly 4,000 slots for presidential appointees and the steep learning curve for political officials. And anyway, that's so Evil Stevil. What's going to happen to Evil Stevil? Because what I've been getting, I did read on if he was going to be subpoenaed by the January 6th committee, and I was getting a yes. And the thing about him is, I mean, the man has the subtlety of a brick through a window. And what I get is, in general, is him just walking around wherever he goes, if it's in front of the January 6th committee or somewhere else, just blurting it all out. All the quiet parts, just saying them out. Like here, Maverick, I was using the steampunk deck, and the devil card is a big giant metal monster with all this steam pouring out of its mouth. It's like, yep, that's him. So, what's going to happen to Evil Stevil?
I think he's going to have trouble finding someone to represent him.
He doesn't seem like the type who listens very well.
Oh, we get the evilness right here.
Ooh, so you got the devil card too.
He will not be able to continue his walks and talks. This is coming up to.
Oh, that's ugly. That's ugly.
He's lying and he's so foolish. He's really just. He's the fool. And
yes.
He doesn't realize that he's stuck in his own, dimension, and his perception is totally askew. And I don't think he's going to have an easy time finding someone to represent him. And I think he's done. He's done. I can't wait to see what you get.
I mean, the only good thing about Steve Bannon is that he's not mealy-mouthed. He says what he means. At least you don't have to. You don't have to deal with the same amount of lying. There's some of that, but it's not the same. It's not like dealing with Trump, who just lies like a rug. And Bannon, he's just like, let it all hang out. I mean, look at him. He definitely lets it all hang out. And this is, I found the card on the steampunk deck that I get for him.
Yeah.
That's him.
That's great. That's a great card. Yeah. Wow.
He's having fun. having a good old time, doing his thing, hanging out with his neo-fascist friends. It's a good time.
On boats.
On boats. Yeah. This is, it's like law enforcement goes to check on him or see what he's doing. And they're like, okay, we've got a plan how we're going to infiltrate and all of this. And basically you can just walk in and just be like, okay, and just watch the crazy. It's like, all right, not so much with the clandestine. just walk in there, and he loves to watch people fight, and he just enjoys sitting back and setting up more fights. And if he wasn't in politics, he'd be happy organizing prize fights or something. I mean, but what's going to happen to him? That's what I'm trying to figure out. See, I sent my energy to him, but he's so up in his own head. It's hard to get what's actually going to happen, because I'm fine. It's like, I don't want to be in this whirlwind. I want to know where you go. Most people have some awareness, on a spiritual level, of where they're going, but these people sometimes are so caught up in their own heads. I send my energy to them, and it's like, okay, guides, can you help me here, because I can't do anything with this. I've got judgment. I've got, he's going to go after more moderate Republicans, and that's going to be a really bad idea for some reason, because this sitting pretty, at first I thought it was him, being the happy little mad scientist. But this feels like the Republicans, because he's going farther and farther and farther to the right. And it's these Republicans are just like, excuse you. And he faces some judgment. But I don't know. I can't get what form that judgment takes.
Whatever it is, he loses.
Yeah. But I'm not getting, yes,
he's going to take his assets. Pardon me. I'm sorry. I think
no, please.
Seize his assets.
Oh, okay. Another one. All right. Entertainment only YouTube. Card for the reading is a thief card. A lot of these guys, they don't stop doing what they were doing wrong just because if they were smart, they'd be pardoned or something that comes along, or they'd get away with something and then be like, okay, I'm going to stay on the straight and the narrow. There's nothing narrow about this. He's just going out there giving that message of the neo-fascists. But things are not going to end well for him. And just like we were reading before, the party goes on without him.
Wow.
So, Evil Stevil.
Evil Stevil, that's his tower.
Absolutely. Okay, what else have we got here?
Without a moat, without a boat.
He gets our goat.
I don't think he's a happy person.
I think he smells bad. But I don't think he smells as bad as Trump does. Just my opinion.
I wouldn't want to be near either one of those people.
Gosar. Wondering Eyes was saying, I saw Gosar on TV and had a strong feeling he has a medical condition causing him to deteriorate mentally and physically. Do you ever see anything like that? So should we check on Gosar? Is he evil or just compromised? Is he compromised ethically, or is he compromised mentally?
Or physically?
Yeah.
Did you see that clip of him?
I did see some of a clip of him. I don't remember. What was he saying?
It was his body movements. Were erratic.
Oh, didn't see that.
Like there was something wrong. And we don't wish anyone ill will, but
no, we don't. I don't want any of these people getting sick. I don't want them passing on. No. I just want courtroom justice, plain old, with evidence, juries, judges.
And popcorn.
For us, yeah. I just saw the video of him talking in the restaurant where what he was saying was not reality. Whoa. Okay, what are you getting? I pulled 3 cards with the card for the reading. I've got 4 major arcana here.
Wow.
He's walking into some energy. But what have you got?
I feel that he is having some physical changes. I don't think his body's making enough of something. The 6 of Pentacles is on its side. I do feel that he has something that he doesn't like, some physical changes.
Okay. I'm getting the world as he has known it is ending. End of chapter, end of book. Definite difference, change. He's still part of the cult, but this is also family starting to kind of come in closer. A little worried, and then I've got a devil card here, which I think might be the issues. I do. That is very sad. I did find this particular card in this deck. This an amusing thing. If you walk back from all that potential really serious stuff, and it's just a politician saying silly things or saying things that are kind of weird, on a lighter note, in the way that any politician might, because this is the card. This is the Empress card, so this is my card for America. Look at her eyes.
Oh wow!
You said what? and Trump really won the election and all this, and the person's looking like what? That look in her eyes of, is he saying that? Is he really saying? That made me laugh.
It's a very funny deck. I really like these.
Yes. So has anybody heard what's gonna, is he talking about stepping down at some point? Has anybody heard anything? We're talking about Gosar, Thelma. Is he I'm getting a very nice retirement package. A message of thank you very much. Let us walk you to the door. Here's your lovely retirement package. And Democrats are, for some reason, happy to see him go, but I can't imagine he's going to be replaced with anybody less extreme. Linda's saying he claims he's healthy as a horse.
I was going to say someone wants him to go, and he's fighting tooth and nail. We should hear about this soon. Yes, very soon.
Okay.
I think information comes out maybe from a female around him. There's some sort of announcement here.
Yeah, it felt when family coming closer, it kind of felt like some kind of woman in his life having to say my father or my husband, uncle, whoever it is. Yeah. Terry says maybe he's using horse paste.
That went through my mind, but it didn't come out of, I wouldn't let it escape my mouth. It just went. Nope, you're not saying that, Lori.
No, you're great.
He's going to try to take medicine. You know that.
Mhm.
He's trying to get control of it. What are you getting if he's staying there? He's trying to control it.
I'm getting him being locked out.
Okay.
So, okay. And while you're here, if you don't mind, I wanted to check in on something because my energy's been the energy I've been getting has been shifting a little bit. So, if you wouldn't mind, we're going to read on the princess. Some people call her Princess Precious. Some people call, I think there was a writer at Vanity Fair who writes a lot about her, who calls her Princess Purses. She's married to a man, Stephanie Grisham, called the Slim Reaper.
Oh, boy.
I've been getting more and more, like the energy's shifting a little bit because I was getting before, the whole family will do whatever it takes. Everybody will throw themselves on their swords, even DJT, believe it or not, to protect Ivanka. Must protect Ivanka. Everybody has to protect Ivanka. But what I've been getting is, even with her fake breathy voice and garbage, that I feel like the energy's tilting, starting to tilt toward like her sliding off, and maybe maybe it's the inauguration fund money, maybe it's Trump Org. Is Princess complicit? Going to is she going to face any jail time? What's going to happen to her?
This will need to be my last question, Autumn.
Sure.
Reading. I did.
Oh no, I understand.
Away from me just a smidge there.
No, I appreciate you being here so much.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yes.
Well, she's trying to move her money. Ooh, she's trying to move it. But she's going to run into trouble, and then the ground becomes, as you say, it's a two of pentacles. No, I don't think she's doing very well. Right now, she's trying to move the money.
Yeah. She thinks she can hide some things right now.
Mm-hmm. Someone won't take it, though.
Ooh.
You can't do that here.
She's very in her own head. She's barely, she's like touches reality for a second and then, okay, I'll go back to.
Just out of balance, out of step. I can't wait to see what you get.
Mostly what I'm getting is I am my father's daughter. We took on those Republicans. This is it's all her energy is doing this. We took on those Republicans and won. What we do, we are successful. I'm sitting pretty. This will all just disappear. I have my family. And then she gets in this whole breathy voice. I'm such a delicate little gentle flower who's a 6 foot tall woman, mother of, I keep feeling like she's got 4 children, but apparently she's got 3. And you were in the White House, but no, you're just this delicate little flat, please. So she plays this whole delicate flower thing up, the mother card, and And it just
Lena
on.
Lena Rodriguez calls her the mother of dragons.
Oh, Ivana. Yes. Yes. But first of all, whatever she's doing to try to hide money or whatever, she's being watched. I mean, in this deck, he's even got a little camera and spyglass in his satchel. So, and she's trying to just be the mother, but again, that look of kind of shock. What do you mean I'm in trouble? So she just keeps going back into this. Well, we'll find a way. We'll find a way. We'll find a way. And it's like, look, lady, I don't care what you think your reality is. This is your reality. This is legal investigations. This is you being held accountable for where did the inauguration money go? What perks did you get? And suddenly trying to pretend that you're a 21-year-old woman who's, does nothing but cook and clean at home, like you're some 50s housewife, but more delicate. It's like, please. But I do have trouble reading on it just because of her energy. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for being here.
The pleasure was all mine. What a wonderful way to start off my Saturday.
And October.
Yes.
Yes, and I'm coming to visit you too.
Yes.
So
week after next, right? On the 14th.
I have it written down here. I think it's on the other side of this page. Oh no, it is on the 15th, Friday the 15th.
I was close.
Okay. 3 p.m. my time, 4 p.m. your time. There we go. And I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Lori. I really appreciate it. Especially, thank you for your patience with last minute. I had before we came on, I'm just like putting makeup on and doing my hair and doing all this stuff. And poor Lori's just like, what did I just walk into?
I had a great time.
But it all came together and thank you. All right. Well, and that's going to do it for us for today, everybody. But I'll be back tomorrow. And of course, at 4:00 today Central Time, I'll be over on Book Art Media. All right. So do take care. All right. Thank you. And I will definitely see you tomorrow.